Everybody, happy Aloha Friday. Welcome to the Hawaii Fishing Gear Show. If you folks have any questions about Hawaii fishing, drop them in the comments right now while we're live. I want to remind everybody one more time, tomorrow is Saturday, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., outside of our shop. It's not just a swap meet. It's a meet and greet. There's a lot of people talking, hanging around. I see Jesse every time hanging out there talking story for a little while.
Very nice.
It's a nice atmosphere, and there's stuff to take a look at and buy, and it's not even too late. We still got 2 spots available if anybody's interested. You got some old fishing gear, the stuff that you're just tempted to maybe even throw away. Bring that down. There's some kids that come around for the swap meet. They're always picking up good deals on reels that they can fix and kind of work at. I know exactly who those 2 kids are. They've been to almost every first Saturday swap meet. Keep in mind, every first Saturday of the month, tomorrow's the first Saturday. First Saturday swap meet outside the shop. Tables are always going to be available every month. So I guess eventually we'll probably wind up booking too many, but yeah, tables are available. They're super cheap. Send me a DM. Send me an email, sales at High Fish Gear. I'll get you hooked up. It's like I said, it's not too late. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., 2 p.m. Like I said, we're going to take your questions here in just a minute. But Jesse was just telling me right before we went live about one of his little superstitions. I was grabbing a hat for the live. I have a nice little spread of hats. And he was telling me about one of his hats. He doesn't like to do what now?
I don't like to wash it.
Have you ever washed it and then you had one bad outing?
No.
You had a theory that if you don't wash your hat, you can wash out all the mana.
Yeah.
All the mana. I have to wash mine.
It doesn't sound very hygienic, but
yeah.
You're not fishing to look
it's
pretty.
It's a fishing hat.
Yeah, it's a fishing hat.
But like mine, I wash mine because my mana comes with sweat. So I get the salt crystals. Because I sweat. Like when I wear a hat and it's hot out, right? My hats get damp with sweat.
I'm wearing a black hat now, so I might actually do that. I might just wash it just because it doesn't look really nice,
If you guys got a fishing hat from us, these hats actually respond really well to a wash. You can throw it in with your regular laundry. If it's one of your favorite hats, maybe put it on a delicate cycle. But you can wash it with detergent, and the thing is, don't throw it in a dryer. That's where it gets all trashed. All you got to do is just hang dry it. Sometimes I'll actually put something inside the hat, so the form of the hat when it dries, it doesn't get all kind of bent out of shape or whatever. But yeah, you can actually wash the fishing hats. We bring in like some pretty nice quality hats, and they do last a while.
Yeah.
All right. So like I said, if you guys got questions, drop them in the comments right now, and we'll do our best to respond to every question you got. You guys got probably give you about 30 minutes. We're going to be doing a 4 o'clock auction, High Fish Gear deals. A nice selection today. We got an Alua pole. We got a whole whipping setup. We got spinning reels. We got lures. We got some knives. Pretty fun stuff. 4 p.m. That's in 36 minutes right now. High Fish Gear deals on Facebook. If you never heard about it, this is your first time hearing about it, highly recommend checking it out if you have a Facebook account. So let me click on the multi-stream up here. And we got 20 viewers on YouTube. Oh, by the way, the TikTok is showing up over here now. The questions. All right. Let's see what questions we got. Here's one. Gonna try light plug with the Rikimaro braid. Let me know how it works out for you, Bella. We got some good feedback from it so far, but everybody's gonna have different experiences. Everybody casts a little different. It should work well for you, brother. And let's see. In case you don't know what we're talking about, Rikimaro braid is a new braid that we're carrying on our website. It's under new products on highfishgear.com. $17 for a 300-meter spool. It's a really good deal. I lost almost all my hats from you guys from the wind or waves. You had your brand new one fell in the water, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think the wind was head on. If you guys want your hats to be snug, you guys gotta get a good haircut. Flew off my head.
You know what I do is
wave almost took
it. With the dry fit, I throw them over the top of it. It gives me a little extra protection. But even on a boat, bro, people was losing their hats left and right. I actually caught a couple hats. Somebody, oh, my hat! And then
Interception.
you can see it drifting away and throwing lure, throwing setup, and you drag them back in. All right. I would like a Kagami holographic sticker. Less the man. Highfishgear.com. Search for Hawaii fishing stickers. They pops right up. There is a 5-inch holographic Kagami sticker available. We just got restocked yesterday, in fact, so check it out. Do you recommend the Shimano Scimitar for whipping? I say yeah. Shimano Scimitar rods are light, like I guess you can call them like light game spinning rods. They're designed for salmon steelhead fishing. And that's one thing, if you guys notice, we're all about the salmon steelheads because for whipping here in Hawaii, when you want to get the most distance you can using egg lead, hammer bombs, or bubbles, the steelhead style rods seem to work out best for us because they have lure ratings that are like ounce, ounce and a half, 2 ounce. You don't see many that go over 2 ounce, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any of them. But it's that perfect kind of range for how we whip here in Hawaii. But the Shimano Scimitar, if you want the best one, the 9-foot heavy is the one that we sell a lot of. And that one is rated up to 1.5 ounces. So that's kind of like in that big bubble grounds. All right. What's your favorite fly pattern for whipping? Go for it.
Hands down, the Owama pattern works everywhere this way.
So what's the color pattern for that one?
Oh, that would be like something with a lighter olive, some yellow, and some white.
Chris is supposed to be dropping off some pretty soon.
If he does, buy those flies. They work.
Is that the one you caught the ulu on?
No, I caught that one on a black and white one.
All right. So Owama pattern is probably one of the better ones that we sell on our website. And in case you didn't know what we were just talking about, Chris from Cree Flies, he has a batch of those that he's working on right now. He only drops a couple times a year. So Cree Flies Owama is supposed to be on its way. And how do you target goatfish? Usually I like the bottom fish for goatfish. That's where I catch most of mine. But the same thing applies if you're shoreline fishing. They usually tend to feed on the bottom. So you're going to be trying to dragging your bait along the sandy bottom. A lot of times you try using egg lead or hammer bombs where you can get it down to the bottom. You also want to make sure that the area you're fishing is sandy because if you get rocks, you can get hung up quite a bit. But yeah, there you go. Goatfish usually tend to feed off the bottom. A lot of times I've gone out like just kind of snorkeling or something, and I'll see just schools of goatfish kind of hanging out close to the bottom. All right. Been using my Camel O'Eel trucker hat for kayak fishing religiously and washing the ocean. No problems are fading. Right on, brother. Yeah, you. What's the new... Okay, I think I already answered that question about what's the new braid that we carry. Rikimaru. $17 for a 300-meter spool. Okay. What's better for the long run, Seagate or Torium 30 conventional? If you got the money, the Torium 30 every time, brother. That is probably one of, in my opinion, one of the best bait casting reels available in that 40 to 50 class for chucking out Ika strips or chucking out taco legs and stuff like that. And even if you wanted to, you can even do some light sliding on that.
I went almost 5 to 6 years without servicing one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
First gen?
On the HD.
Okay.
Only reason I had it serviced is because I dropped it in the sand.
Who'd you do? Drop it off with Frank?
Yeah.
All right. Cherry now.
Cherry.
Torium 30 is a great reel. Torium 30 HG. Okay. Seagate, by the way, is another great reel. I think that the Seagate will actually be a better casting reel, but all around with that full metal body and that high speed gear ratio, the Torium 30 HG is like one of the best bait casting. What's a good spinning reel to get? I have a Shimano Sienna 4000 reel to get. Well, you have kind of close to the bottom of the line when it comes to Shimano spinners. So you have a few to go up. If you're not ready to bite the bullet on a Shimano Stratic, which is what we consider the king of whipping reels here in Hawaii. I would recommend checking out the Shimano Sedona or the Shimano Nasi, which is both of those are about half the price of the Stratic. Or if you want to check out our auction today, it might be a little surprise or two that's going to go for less than retail. Okay. Oh, he said, Ahi Boy says the braid feels good and it makes beautiful FGs. Right on. What's going on, Hawaii Grown? He says, what's up from Florida? I miss Hawaii. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Let's see what other questions. I need his flies, says Jaden. Cree flies. So somebody asked yesterday about, have you ever made papio flies or just spiders?
I made a small papio fly before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small in profile, like.
Yeah, like
what
2-3
size hook?
inch.
What size hook did you use?
A size like 4.
Size 4 what? Tarp one?
Like gamakatsu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Size 4
so a
gamakatsu.
baby one.
Do you catch?
No.
No.
I just can't tie it. I don't know. Like I try, but it just doesn't come out.
Did the head
looking
come
like,
loose or no?
No, not that. It's just like the body shape and everything. It just never really like came out looking like other guys' ones.
Some guys,
You know?
they put in a lot of work. They study a lot of YouTube videos, man. I've made flies. I've never caught on one that I messed around with. I was just goofing around most of the time. And it's probably, in my opinion, better in the long run. Okay, so somebody was just replying to that one. What's better, monoline or braided? It depends on what purpose is. If you are dunking, if you're bait casting, monofilament's going to be the best line for you. If you're whipping, I think more people use braid because you get a deeper line capacity and you have a higher breaking strength. People still do whip with mono. Most of the time it's usually when you're targeting lighter game stuff or like real line shy or leader shy fish. You think halalu and akule are what you consider leader shy?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What when you go fishing, do you carry different pound test leaders?
Yeah. So I'll carry 2468.
2468. There you go. So every time you go whipping, especially if you're consistently whipping, it's always nice to have a nice little stack of like fluorocarbon or monofilament leaders. I personally, I don't do a lot of light game fishing, so I have 10, 15, 20, and 25. Or sometimes I'll skip the 25 and go 30.
That's a good
but
mix.
That's and I use more of the 10 and the 15 than anything, because I like curly tails and flies, and I don't like to go heavy on the leader. If I ever get one, zzz, like that,
Yeah.
I'll definitely tie on next. Gonna be the 20-pound test. What reel should I put my custom Alua? What reel should I put my custom Alua pole medium heavy? What reel? If it's a standard medium heavy rating, you probably want to go with a 40 to 50-pound test. 50-pound test reel. Those would be things like the Seagate, the Sea Line, the Jigmaster, the Squall 40, the Fathom 40, or the Torium 30. Now, if you have a medium heavy pen, that's a different animal from a medium heavy nitro, where now you're looking at 50 to 80-pound test, and then you're going to be more in the category of, say, for instance, a 60 to 80-pound test reel. For example, those are going to be the Torium 40, the Torium 50, the Pen 4.0 wide. Yeah, so that's kind of what it is. If you have one that's closer to a nitro medium heavy, 40 to 50-pound test reel. If you have something that's a Carnage medium heavy, or is there a medium heavy Terramar? There is, yeah?
Yeah.
And that one is like, that's a 60 to 80-pound test rod, yeah?
Oh, lighter than that.
It's lighter than that. You could probably get by. What do you cast on yours? A 40?
Yeah.
Torium 40 on a
I think
Terramar.
Tyler has the medium heavy, but he was throwing the Torium 30, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can, it depends on what the action is on your rod, really. Depends on what the reel's going to be. What's up, Wally? Jigmaster with a Newell kit. There you go. Now you're talking my language. The Solaris. Did we get any Solaris today?
Oh, the
Solpara?
Shimano? Oh, Solpara?
Is that a Solpara? Did you say Solpara? That Solpara is the...
Oh, a Major Craft. No.
Okay, so we shook the Major Craft tree yesterday, and I heard that we should be getting an order in pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We said, brah, where's our order? Come on now. We called all the right people, and the right people would start knocking down doors, and we should have an order coming in pretty soon. Okay, here's a good question. Jesse, how do you cinch 2-pound tests without breaking them?
Oh, so when you're cinching down like 2-pound tests, you just gotta just one quick one. You don't wanna keep on pulling on it because then, you know, it's gonna bust. So.
Well, the idea is to cinch down the line. You're talking about a cinch knot. Is that what you use?
Oh, just cinching it down in general. You gotta understand that, you know, you can't be using all your full force on it. So once it ties down tight, just leave it already.
I would recommend, if you're having issues with that, lubricate it a little bit. It helps to cinch down quicker. But what knot do you use when you tie on your hook with the light leader?
The uni knot.
So okay, so that I think it's an improved cinch where you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 back to the puka and pull tight.
A little bit different. You double up the line and it kind of wraps around both. So you kind of got like a layer of protection versus the cinch knot where you're wrapping around the main line like just once.
Yeah.
So then you kind of just putting all that pressure on.
So you're wrapping around what? Because you say you're doubling up the line.
Yeah. So you go like that, double up the line.
Yeah.
And then it's weird, like it's like this, and then
you can show me that. And so you're wrapping around the. Oh, okay. I think it's.
So there's no line going on the shank.
You go through the shank.
Yeah.
And then you go back around, and then.
Yeah.
Okay,
just like that.
I got you. All right. If you guys don't understand what I'm talking about, you kind of go through that, and then there you go. All right. Hopefully that understood. Maybe we'll walk through we'll have a knot day.
Okay.
What does extra heavy mean on the nitro lure pole? So, the extra heavy lure pole that we do have in stock here on highfishgear.com, the extra heavy is a 50-50 split. If you've ever noticed, I have a nitro right here. This is a heavy action nitro. It might be a little hard showing you it when it's still in the plastic. But you should be able to see that the heavy action nitro, the bottom half is shorter than the top half. The top half is up here and the bottom half is down here. On an extra heavy, it's 50-50 split, which means that the bottom half, which is like no action on the bottom half, it's almost like it's like a filler. All the action's in the tip. When you have that 50-50, you have a shorter top half and less action, which means that you can use, even though the lure rating says 60-pound test, it is an 80-pound test rod. All right. Okay, let's see. Good match for the Torium 50. Torium 50, based on the rods that we normally stock. Terramar, high cast, which is the Shimano lure pole. Heavy action would probably be good for that one. Extra heavy nitro or in heavy action nitro would match up well. If you plan on only slide baiting, I'd probably go with the extra heavy. But if you plan on bait casting that Torium 50, the heavy would probably be a little bit better for that cast. And let's check out. We got a bunch of questions that are coming through. Richard says the 10-7s are all gone. I told you guys yesterday. I only had 2 left out of 10 that we got in. I'm already working on hopefully getting some more in within the next couple weeks. What's up, Uncle Bill? Can you use a spinning rod with a conventional reel or vice versa for dunking? Okay, so Jimmy in the chair on YouTube. The correct response to tell you is that a spinning rod bends like this and a conventional rod bends like this. The backbone of the rod will not match the way that the reel is set on the reel seat. But I'm going to tell you right now, if that's what you got, freaking run them. Just make sure there's no high maka bozos around there going, oh, brother, you're using one conventional on one ugly stick. Brother, if that's what you got, run them. As long as you get bait in the water, you good. Don't go out and buy brand new spinning with a conventional. But if that's what you got, make do it what you got. I mean, I'm kind of like in that boat where if I don't need it, I'm not gonna buy it. I'll use what I got until I actually need it. But one thing a lot of people ask is, can I use a spinner on the nitro? I love the colors of the nitro. I love how it looks, and I want to have that big stocky lure pole for my big spinner. Yes, you can use it, but if you ever hook up to something really big and you need to test the limits of the rod, you are risking breaking that rod. But that's like, you luck out and you hook up on 60 pounder and the rod, which is supposed to bend this way, is bending this way, you might have some issues. That's the only thing you want to look out for. And that's from people that have been fishing for a very long time and they've broken poles. It's not from somebody who's just starting out. You know, you if that's what you got, just run it. That's pretty much what it is. Hinalea Hunter. I think that's Mr. D over there on YouTube. When diving, I've observed that the red color turns black as you go deeper, so I assume pink turns gray with depth. Have you noticed any difference when using clear versus pink leader material? I got turned on to pink leader from the Aqua Hunters guys when everybody was getting into live baiting Opelu off the kayak. And pink leader, everybody swore by it. It's just, you know, you have that crystal clear top water where the Opelu's swimming around. The fish tend to be a little bit more like not leader shy when they were using that pink fluorocarbon. And also at the time, it was probably the best fluorocarbon on the market. And I personally, I sometimes use 50 fluoro pink. I love the Yozuri HD. I've been using it for 10 plus years, and I, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know?
Yeah.
And I use it for dunking. I use it for trolling on my kayak. I use it for, not so much whipping. I like the J line. I like the big spools, the compact. A little bit
softer too, the J line.
It is a little bit softer, yeah. Like if you try tying one improved cinch knot with the Yozuri, it's a little bit harder. But when you're dunking, you can throw on the kind, you know, snell knot, or if you're trolling, you put on one Rapala knot or something like that, where you have that little bit of play. But I've noticed mostly for me is the abrasion resistance that with the Yozuri is probably one of the best. And I'm talking about when you have a good 10, 15 pound Olua just banging itself on the rocks to try to get that hook out of its mouth. The line will come back all jagged, but guess what?
It's not going to cut.
Landed the fish. Okay. Let's see. How much drag weight would it take to catch Olua? You got an estimate? I have an idea.
Well, I know guys can do it on like 1K reels, so 7 pounds of drag max, you know. That's pretty much all you need.
Kyle, let me give you some specs on some of the reels that I'm familiar with. The stock Jigmaster has 14 to 18 pound test lockdown drag. That's when you tighten up your drag all the way. Investigate the lockdown drag on certain reels. Sometimes they're a little bit too much, I think. Like, especially with those bigger slammers and stuff like that with the HT100 drags.
Oh, it's like 40 pounds of
Bruh,
drag.
you don't need 40 pounds of lockdown drag. All you're going to do is rip that freaking hook right out of its mouth. You can, like, what he just said right there is a perfect example. There's some guys that use light game 2 to 4 pound tests, and they let the fish run because they got 150, 200 yards of light pound tests on the reel, and basically just wait for it to slow down. Try to get a boost in, and if they can't boost it, like if it's just not moving, tighten the drag a little bit. You know, see if they can get some ground on it where it starts coming in, making sure it's not too tight. So if that fish decides to take a second run, it'll take out drag as opposed to just, you know, that's what you want to try to avoid.
What would you say would be like a comfortable number, maybe?
I like 18, 20 on average. The last Olua I caught was anywhere between 25 to 30 pounds. I don't have an actual weight because I let it go. But I had my Pen 4.0 with 7+1 drags. That takes it from 22 to 28 pound test, by the way. That was the specs that I got from Brian. So I had 28 pounds of lockdown drag. I didn't lock it all the way down. It ran. I never touched the drag. The only time I touched the drag was when it was in that little gutter on where the little sand gutter right at the water. And I needed to bring it up, and it just wasn't coming up out of the gutter, so it was swimming back and forth. So I finally just locked on the drag and side pulled it up into the beach because it was pretty good size weight. But I would say 20 pound test would be pretty good, man. 20 pound test minimum. If you're on a conventional or a big spinner and a lure, I would feel comfortable with anywhere between 15 to 25 pound test lockdown drag. All that 40s and stuff is too much. What's the biggest reel you would run when whipping? I say 5K or 6K Saragossa. What about you?
Yeah, maybe a 5K Shimano.
Biggest. Yeah, you talking SW?
After that, I might just start, throwing the plugs and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bigger. I got you. All right. Good whipping pole for bubble and fly. Off the top of my head, we got the Okuma Menpachi rod series, 12 foot and 13 in stock right now. The 10 foot 7 is a cherry. But I'll tell you right now that the specs on those rods that I just recommended is 10 to 25 pound test or 10 to 20 pound test with a lure rating up to 2 ounces. That bubble, when you fill it with water, is 1.9 ounces. And you want a rod that can handle up to 2 ounces, or you can probably get by with 1.5. But decide on the length that you feel comfortable with. I personally like 10-foot rods or 10-foot 6. You favor what?
Yeah, the 10-foot rods.
10-foot rods. I mean, everybody has their own mechanics. Certain people like 9s. Certain people like 12s. Like Joe from Kakai Flies. He's Mr. 12. He doesn't like anything below 12 feet. All of his talons are 12 feet. But everybody has their own personal preference, and where they're fishing also depends on which rod they're using. Any recommendations on a rod for a 3K Stratic? 3K, I'll let you go off the top of your head.
I would find something that's maybe in the 8'6" to 9'6" range that can throw, anywhere from an ounce to maybe an ounce and a half.
Yeah, I was going to say 3/4 to 1 ounce.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then 15 pound test braid. That's a little bit too much for some people, but I've just found that the 3K Shimano, it's you don't get the whole spool of 15 pound test, but it just seems to cause less headaches. When I go that lighter 10 pound test, all I get is just all over, But 8'6", 9 foot, rated a 3/4 to an ounce would probably be cherry for that 3K. All right. Mahalo Bill, also good info given the Uzuri abrasive resistance. J-line more limber and easier to tie. Always learn something watching you guys. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate been getting a lot of love in the comments, so thank you guys for that. It encourages us to make sure that we keep doing this up. Keep doing this as many chances as we get. All right, we are at 27 minutes, so we're getting close to 4 o'clock. Thoughts on Penn Carnage 3 Heavy? You got any thoughts on that?
Nice rod. I like try them out. Maybe one day.
All right, so the Penn Carnage 3 Heavy, when applied to the Hawaii market, is made to the Hawaii market. That is a slide bait paddle out rod. That is the one where you got 80 pound test on your reel and you are expecting nothing but the biggest fish. That is when you're gonna go big. That's the one you wanna bring. All right. Are there Ulua rods for spinners? I think Nitro made a couple spinning ones, but I don't think they have. I'm not sure if they're making them anymore. But what you're looking for a spinning rod that can handle Ulua, prime example, the ones that I personally use, they are my spinning Ulua poles. I use the Hawaiian Custom, the HCS Hawaiian Custom Surf, and that is rated up to, I think, it says you can throw 9 ounces, but I feel really comfortable with 6s and 7s. Also, the Penn Battalion 12 foot is a great Ulua worthy rod, which is rated up to 40 pound test. So you're looking for something 12 to 13 foot that's rated up to 8 ounces, I would say. Okay. Jesse, are you picking up the new Twin Power?
Maybe the XD.
Maybe. XD, that's the freshwater one, right?
Yeah.
All right. Saltwater one's just a little bit too bulky for what you want to do?
Yeah.
I got you. Just whip for Ulua already. That would be pretty mean, though, if you finally do get your Ulua on a whip.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That would be fun, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, Jesse, can you include Hawaiian Lavaya on one of the videos?
Oh, I guess the master asked, so we gotta collab then.
Yeah. We still gotta do an overnighter. with me, you, and Wally. Wally just gonna sleep watch. All right. Let's see. I think we're caught up. We're all caught up. Is there a difference between the Estella from Japan and the U.S.? I would say the main difference for you, Corey, here in a United States address, is that if you buy one from Japan, I think you can send it to the U.S. Yeah, you can service it. Servicing, warranty is probably one of the only real big issues.
Yeah.
So basically what I've noticed is the most newest, fanciest, best Stellas are the ones that are released first in Japan. And then when they get tired of playing with it, they say to their American counterparts, here, you can have it now. We got something better coming. That's kind of how it works. I think that the Japan ones wind up being a little bit more advanced in regards to specs or something. But another thing I got to let you know is that when you buy that brand new product, you know, you might have, if anything happens in regards to something just not working right, I like to wait a little bit before, before I jump on a brand new product. I like to let's check out the Alan Hawk review. Let's see, let's see what he says about it first before I pull the trigger on an expensive reel. All right. And we'll answer this question over here on TikTok. Would it be good to have a nitro Aloha pole and surf rod for dunk? Yeah, I'll tell you right now, me personally, I have 6 surf rods total. I have 2 spinners, I have 2 medium heavies, and I have 2 heavy Aloha poles. So, I mean, it's nice to have a nice little arsenal, to pull out different rods for different fishing situations. So you don't have to go buy all brand new stuff when time comes. All right, I think we're all caught up. What's up, Ken? Right now, 7 minutes, high fish gear deals. We have it should be a short auction, but for the short auction, $1,600 worth of retail fishing gear. We got some lures, we got some line, we got a headlight. It's going to be a quick and very expensive auction coming up here in about 7 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. And if you wound up watching, right here, 62 people on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And over here, we got 20 people watching on Instagram. Come on, let's get some likes. The likes actually help. Take a moment, leave a like on the video. All you got to do is put your thumb right there on the heart. Right there on the heart. Do it. All right, everybody. You guys have a good one. We'll see you guys back here next week. No auctions tomorrow because we're having that swap meet outside the shop, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Aloha.